Well, my story here for this career path that I'm most proud of began in about 1976, living in Vancouver, participating in the Western Society for Paediatric Research meetings in Carmel, California, because the birth defects focus of attention at that meeting was there in Carmel every year. So after these sessions, we'd meet at Clint Eastwood's bar called Hog's Breath for an after, session beer or two. And as I was leaving to fly home, I noticed there was a Time magazine, 2 years old, lying on the desk. I thought, nobody's going to miss this. I'll read it on the plane. So I got on the plane, had my dinner, went through it, and here was this half-page story of this 40-year-old woman who had recently buried her brother to the, quote, family disease, and she decided that she was going to do something about it. So she wrote to the National Genetics Foundation asking for assistance, and they sent a neurologist, Roger Rosenberg, and Bill Nyan, a medical geneticist, to interview her, which resulted in a family reunion of some 120 of her family members in Oakland, California, in a park where they had this family room come clinic. And they were now part of what was called the International Joseph Disease Foundation. So I'm interested in neurogenetics. I'll tear this out and take it back, and I stuck it in my basket and under J for Joseph. I forgot about it. And about 2 years later, my department head, who was a PhD, asked me to see this young woman because it involved a physical examination, which she wasn't able to do. So this is a 22-year-old young woman. She's been married. She has a 2-year-old son. And she's in for genetic counseling with her father. And I wondered, why is she coming in now if she was worried 2 years ago? Why wasn't she here? Well, it turns out in the interval, her father had come down with the family disease. And so I said, she said, this goes back for 10 generations. I said, what do they call it? And she said, Joseph's disease. And over and plucked out J for Joseph. And, that's autosomal dominant. I can tell you what's going on. Thanks, end of story. But I thought I'd just see if the people in the foundation knew this family in Canada. Oh, yes, we know this family, not them, but the extended families are large Portuguese families. And how would you like to be on our medical advisory board? I got one patient. I can't. Okay, I'll be on your medical advisory board. So that's fine. I never saw another patient. Another year went by, and I got a phone call from the foundation. We're having a meeting in Lisbon, and we want you to come and participate in the meeting and talk about your research. I don't do research in this area at all. I can't go to Lisbon and take your money for that. Oh no, I really would feel badly about this. So the next thing you know, I get a call from Roger Rosenberg, the neurologist, who's now the chairman or the president of the American Academy of Neurology, is on the line. So we chatted a bit, and he convinced me that I really should come as a medical geneticist, because there weren't too many of them involved, and just sit and listen and make notes. And at the end of the 3 days, do this particular, what we saw, wrap-up seminar. So I said, sure, I could do that, and off I went. Well, before I left, I went to another meeting, and on the train, I was reading the issue of the American Journal of Medical Genetics when they were publishing the first article on RFLPs. And I read this, and I said, isn't that interesting? I just filed it away. Got to Lisbon and said, after the 3 days, you've got 200 three-generation families, perfect for linkage analysis. I think you should seriously go after doing this gene. And they thought it was a great idea, and we wrote it up, and that was the end of the story.